Hey, good afternoon. In the category of taking my own advice and having to take my own medicine, here's another example of practicing what I preach. I had intended to come out here today and share with you something that I had found a couple weeks ago in this little bitty tiny puddle of a pond. Perched on the top of this hill was a group of spring peepers, a little tiny frog about as big as the tip of your thumb, about an inch long, that were very excitedly singing that it was springtime. Loud calls, and maybe 50 to 100 frogs all calling at the same time. And it was loud enough that it was distracting. When we walked by on the trail, we had to stop talking until we were far enough away that we could hear over the din of the spring peepers calling. And I had intended to come out here and share that with you, and things got in the way. And I had procrastinated, and I missed my opportunity because the frogs aren't here now. They've moved on to other things, and I can't share that call with you because I ran out of time and I avoided doing other things that would have allowed me to be here. So the lesson in this is Brian Tracy had a book a few years ago that was widely popular, and the title of it was Eat the Frog First. And it was his remedy to figuring out how to avoid procrastinating. Frequently, we spend a bunch of energy and time working on avoiding the things that we don't want to do. So much so that we dread doing them. We put them off to the end of the day. We do other things to distract ourselves. And Tracy's advice was, in order to be more productive, to be more fulfilled and happy in doing the things that we do, to eat the frog first. And he had a whole laundry list of advice of different ways to do that. If given the choice between eating two frogs, always eat the uglier one first. If having to eat a live frog, make sure that you don't spend a whole lot of time looking at it and thinking about it. So in his advice, if you have a list of things to do, if there's 10 things to do and one of them is to eat a frog, eat the frog first. I have found that to be very useful in my own procrastinating, except for these spring peepers, and also in coaching with clients of what are the things that you avoid doing and spend all day avoiding and spend all week dreading, where if you had eaten that frog first and had done the uncomfortable thing first, the whole rest of the day would have gone better. And I have met several people recently who have come back and shared that of, oh, I made this phone call that I had been avoiding to this client, and suddenly the rest of the day was lots easier, and I had a much better day because I wasn't carrying that negative energy and dread with me throughout the day. These little frogs are very distracting. I'm betting that the things that you're avoiding, the things that you don't like doing about your job, or the tough conversation that you're avoiding with a coworker, a partner, a client, all prevent you from enjoying a bright, sunshiny day or being able to get to the work that you enjoy doing. Take some time and figure out for yourself, what are the frogs that you're avoiding eating? Then look at what's the motivation to eat them, and then the accountability of how you're actually going to go through and do that. And sometimes it takes a coach or an accountability partner to tell that I'm avoiding doing this and that I need help figuring out how to get that frog down in order to move on to other things. Please feel free to ask any questions, make any comments. What are the things that you avoid the most? What is your biggest frog? And what is the trick that you use to trick yourself into eating that frog and getting on to better things? Please feel free to share. I'm John Rhoads. I hope that you're able to find purpose and meaning in your daily life.